We all know the E92 M3. We also know the E90, which is just a saloon version. But at one point, Japan decided to have a go. They wanted to join the game too. So what did they do? They took a Lexus IS, this IS250 specifically, I don't know why, and made this, the Lexus IS-F. Now, it took me long enough to remember the E92 and the E90 names. So I had to write down the figures for these engines. I can't remember that. I can just about remember their code name. But anyway, the M3 has a 4-litre V8 with 420 horsepower. The Lexus, on the other hand, has a 5-litre V8 with 423 horsepower. Now you're thinking, a whole other litre and 3 horsepower. 3? Well, that's not the end of the story. Let me show you. But first, let's hear a sound comparison between these two engines. I have to say the BMW sounds a lot better. Here are the specs. I've shown you the horsepower, but let's look at when that max horsepower reaches its max. Okay, for the Lexus it's 6,600 RPM. For the Beamer it's 8,300. That's a lot. Now, the BMW only has 295 pound-feet of torque / 400 Newton meters, and that happens at 3,900 RPM. So you can get that while doing, I don't know, motorway driving, for example, or just getting away from the lights because it's quite low and that's not even half the RPM. But the Lexus has 383.5 pound-feet of torque / 520 Newton meters. That happens at 5,200 RPM, which is considerably higher, but the Lexus only revs to about 7,000, whereas the BMW revs way more. Now, the weight of the IS-F is more than 100 kilos than the Beamer, so that means handling is compromised. Now, when it comes to the interior, the M3, it's a decent interior. It's a bit black, I'll admit, and plasticky, but compare that to the Lexus, okay? Look at all that shiny silver grey plastic. Look at it. And it's not alone. Japanese cars of the noughties, they were like that. Look at the Mitsubishi Evo X. You know, it was just plastic. Subaru Impreza WX STI, not much better. It's still pretty bad. Now, as we see, the Lexus revs to 7,000 RPM, give or take, but it's so complicated. You got fuel, you got coolant temperature, you got battery something, you got oil pressure, whatever it is, or temperature, whatever it is. And then you got big F for no reason. You got M1 by the battery stuff, and then you got your odometer. That's overly complicated. Compare that to the M3. Well, M3, it wins. You got speedometer, rev counter, fuel, coolant, and then just 2 small displays in the center. Can't really go wrong with that. Let's talk about the handling of the IS-F. Now, as I mentioned before, the Beamer does weigh 100 kilograms less than the IS-F, so it's gonna handle somewhat better through the corners. But I don't know the technicals of this car. I've never driven any of these cars, so I can't tell you directly which car handles the best or just drives the best on a normal road. What I can say though is that the BMW is a very good car. And the Lexus, it's not bad. It does do things quite well, and honestly, I kind of like it. You know, I prefer the looks over it. Even though the gauge cluster is as complicated as quantum physics, it's blue, and that really helps. And the blue on this Lexus looks absolutely brilliant. And you know what? My favourite car, my favourite Subaru, full of plastic. I don't care. This Lexus is full of plastic. I do not care. I personally prefer the Lexus, and that is my own opinion of it. And that's probably going to be an unpopular opinion, because everyone's going to say, oh, the A90 M3, that's going to be much better. That's my adenoid accent.
And oh, soon you'll be driving a Chinese car.
But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.